host, astronumerologist LLoyd Strayhorn. And today we're going to do a part two. I see I had a lot of questions from Monday about the personal week. Let me get something straight. Okay, let me get this straight. Okay, let me get this. Okay. Okay, good. There we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another beautiful Wednesday with us. It's a very, very interesting day. Um, but I have some good news. I have some very, very good news, and I love to be the bearer of good news. I'll explain that in a moment. But anyway, thank you very much for joining this evening segment of Numbers in You or Live with LLoyd. And it's very, very nice. A couple of things I want to say, but first of all, let me say that this week's show is being sponsored by the Circles of the Traveling Spread, and so please go to sgshealing.com to get your information, sign on, join us in August. There might be some other options coming up soon, but right now go to stshealing.com. That's stshealing.com. Let's start off with the forecast today. It is Wednesday. Okay, got that straight. May 17th, got that straight of 2023. The sun is in Taurus. The moon went into Taurus about 8:30 this morning. It's a 3 universal month, a 6 universal week, an 11 universal day. But if you're under the sign of Capricorn, Aquarius, Libra, Cancer, or Leo, or born on the 2nd or the 8th, the 11th or the 17th, the 20th, the 26th, or the 29th of the month, this should prove to be an interesting day for you all around. All right, a couple of things I want to let you know. I met an interesting couple. But before I do that, I want to let you know that today is the day of the New York Stock Exchange. The New York Stock Exchange was founded on this day, May 17th in 1792. It had 22 brokers that started. Now, here's what's interesting. If you look at May 17th, 1 plus 7 is 8, okay? That means people born on this day, such as the New York Stock Exchange or anybody, they will find that their numbers are the 8, followed by the 6, followed by the 3. So I just thought it was interesting that in that year of 1792, when it started, the New York Stock Exchange, that they had 24 brokers, which 2 plus 4 is 6. And interestingly enough, how astrology plays a role. When the stock market is doing well, don't they say the stock market is bullish? Well, what sign or what symbol is assigned to Taurus? It is the bull. So sometimes things are like in plain sight. It's just that you have to be conscious to be able to see how things are working in that way. But anyway, I met an interesting couple yesterday, Marcellus, and he told me, she is from Japan now, a resident of Harlem, the village of Harlem where I live, and he is from the city of Detroit visiting. And they both saw me. So what's interesting, I rarely get to see anybody that I meet that have actually seen my shows. So when I asked Marcellus his birthday, he said he was born on the 27th. When I asked, he told me, she said she was born on the 9th. So they were both 9 people, but I met them yesterday. And what was yesterday? Yesterday is ruled by Tuesday. The number 9 rules Tuesday, and that's when I met them. So it was just very interesting to finally meet somebody from afar and then meet somebody that's practically down the block. So to Marcellus, and he told me it was a pleasure meeting you. And it's just an interesting experience to meet somebody that actually saw me on the show. I've had that once happen before a couple of weeks ago, but they knew me way, I'm crossing the street and they said, isn't he so-and-so and so-and-so? So it's very interesting. And it was kind of flattering, to be very honest. But anyway, I have a lot of questions. First of all, my moderator has been instructed, if you try to give your name more than 2 times, 2 is the most, then we're going to ask you that you politely be blocked for this evening's show. Okay. I noticed, see, because I'm doing this all by myself and I don't have anybody to kind of assist me with the comments that's coming in, I have to do the comments. And then if you notice, if you've ever seen me, everything is in my head. I don't have no computers. Well, the computer's here. Okay. Everybody's got a computer here. You got to do is use it. So here it is. I'm trying to read a comment and then be able to analyze what you just sent me. So we're going to show you how to find the personal week. All right. And then there's the universal week, then there's the personal week. But I'm going to review all of that so there's some clarity. It is a brand new concept. It is a concept I came up with because of my longtime friend from back in the day in college and everything else, wonderful, beautiful brother, Lewis Wheeler, that really, he was always asking me about, well, the personal year, especially when he would meet the sisters. Well, what's her personal year? What's her personal month? Her personal day? And I guess he must have felt that I was kind of like, okay, Lewis, all right, I'm busy. And he threw me a curveball. He says, what about the personal week? And I said, there is no such thing. But you know what he said to me? Why? And that's why my book is called Numbers in You, because of the fact that so many people have asked me questions about what's the best car, what's the best city, what's the best place to vacation, what's the best this, that, and the other. And so that book, which has been an all-time classic, where is that book, by the way? I have it somewhere around. Oh, here it is. This book is an all-time classic. I would recommend that everybody get this book. It's available on Amazon. It's very inexpensive. I tell people you can save a lot of money just getting the book, but a lot of people don't like to read nowadays, which is good for business. But for those of you who do like to read, this is the book you should have. And this is a book I printed, had published a long time ago, and I told them the book will be selling for quite some time, and it has, only because when you deal with universal principles never go out of style. Okay. Now the people will change, come and go, but the universal principles never, never, never. So what happens is that's when I went down the rabbit hole. So what I want to do is show you how I am arriving at this. So here you see on the screen, if I'm not mistaken, the concepts behind the universal and personal weeks. So what happened was I says, okay, what about the weeks? I says, well, on average, there are 4 weeks in a month. So I said, let week number 1, because everything is in division of 7 days in a week, 7 notes in the musical scale, 7 colors in the rainbow, 7 wonders of the world, of the ancient world, the modern world, 7 this, that, and the other, 7 continents. So I says, let the first week cover the first 7 period from the 1st through the 7th. Then I said, let week number 2 cover the period from the 8th to the 14th. Let week number 3 cover the period from the 15th to the 21st. And finally, the last week of the month will cover from the 22nd to the end of the month, which is the 30th or the 31st. So here you see I have an illustration of finding the universal week. So what you do is you add 2023 because this is the year we're in presently. So this year, as you see, adds up to 7. So when I added 2023 to the month of May, which we're in right now, that's 7, which is a single digit of 2023 to 5, May, which is the 5th calendar month, equals 12, and 1 plus 2 is 3. So that way, this month, May of 2023, is a 3 universal month. Overall, it simply means those under the sign of Sagittarius and Pisces, those that are born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, or the 30th of the month, you are likely to be the beneficiaries before this month is over. But next, what I did was, since this is the week of the 15th to the 21st, it covers the 3rd week, I then says, okay, let me add the 3 universal month to the 3rd position week. And as you see, I wind up with the universal week. That's how I got the universal week. But then there's the personal cycle too. So what I wanted to do was, there's a person that submitted their screenshot for me, and I want to take their example so you can see for yourself. And to this person, Miss Ann Bowes, I want to thank her very, very much for volunteering. It's not about putting you on blast, but here we go. Okay, so here's what I did with hers, and this is you too. So I don't care what your birthday is now. She's born on January the 19th, which makes her a Capricorn. Her key numbers are the 1, 4, and 8. So I says, in order to get to the personal week, the personal month, the personal day, you must know what your personal year is. You cannot get around it. So you start with the basics, the foundation, the cornerstone, okay? So in this case, when I added January the 19th to 2023, the year I want to know about, and what makes this technique so significant about the personal year is, let's say there was a significant year in your past, like you got married or got a job or graduated from school or whatever milestone that was important. If you can remember the year, you take the month and day you're born, add that year in question, that will tell you the personal year cycle you're going through. So in this case, for this person, Ann Bowser, born on January the 19th, presently for this year, 2023, the universal year may be a 7, but for her personally, it's a 9 personal year. And that's how I did. I just added the columns, add the numbers across, and came to a 9. Next, then I added her personal year number, which is a 9, to the month in question, which is May. And as you see beneath that, her 9 personal year added to the 5th calendar month equals 14, and 1 plus 4 is 5. So therefore, Ann Bowser, for the month of May of 2023, happens to be in a 5 personal month. Now, the week. This is very important about the concept I want to talk about in part 2 today. Finally, I took her 5 personal month, which is a 3, and then added to the 3rd week that covers a period from the 15th to the 21st. So her 5 personal month added to the 3rd calendar week puts her in an 8 personal week. This is a very good week for her. Why? Because 8 is one of her numbers. 8 deals with money, things of that nature. And so therefore, this is a week where she should do very, very well, do a lot of growing up. It's also a pregnancy cycle if she wanted to, but it's not that kind of party, but she could give birth to a business, birth to a plan, birth to an idea. And this is what it looks like when you go to my A Star 8 app. And the good news is, in about less than 2 weeks, iOS users, iPhone users will then have access to the A Star 8 app, just like Android have it now. So Android users, just go to Google Play Store, just type in A Star 8. You see A Star 8 by LLoyd Strayhorn, download it into your phone, enter your information, you're good to go. So in this case, this is what Ann Bowser looked like when she signed on. As you see, her birth numbers to the top left, because she's born on the 19th, 1 plus 9 is 10, and 1 plus 0 is 1. To the right, you see the planet that rules it, which is the sun. And in the center is a description of the nature of the one, et cetera, et cetera. And then you click to get more information. Then you'll see that you look at the daily star guide. That's the black one. It says it's an 8 in the week. It's a 5 personal month, and it's a 9 universal year. All of this will be calculated for you. You don't have to go through all this. All you got to do is punch in your birthday, and my Star 8 app will automatically calculate it for you. So now, if you look to the right of it, for today's date, the 17th, she has a green star day. Why? Because today is the 17th. 1 plus 7 is 8. And that's her number, because underneath it, you see the key numbers, the favorable numbers. Her favorable numbers are the 1, 4, and 8. And her challenging numbers will be the 5 and the 6. Then further down, I get into name, description, destiny number, health, wealth, stuff like that. So what happens is, then when she clicks on the calendar in and of itself, the next thing she will get is this image. Okay. And this is the full calendar. Now, this is important because of the fact that, let me see, I'm going to try to see if I can do something. Yeah, good. That way all the attention is on this. So as you can see, if you look at her map, if you look at the 17th, the Wednesday, there is a green star day. But see those red stars? Those are her cautionary days. So if she's planning something, let's say it says, listen, we want you to do something on the 24th with 3 red star days. If she can, I would have her postpone it. But as you see, the way I calculated, this is what the Star 8 app will do for you automatically. And as you see to the bottom where it says the Daily Star Guide, it says a 1 green star day when you tap on the details, it will tell you what that means. This person's in an 8 personal week, which is exactly how I showed you how we got it. They're in a 5 personal month, which I showed you exactly how we got it. And they're in a 9 personal year, which is I showed you how we got that too. Everybody's calendar will be different because the birthdays are different. Now, birthdays are similar, yes. But if you have an Android an Android phone, right now you can download this app, a star 8, ASTAR number 8, or go to the website and go from there. It's ASTAR number 8.com. And so you can download it from there. But if you go with that, you'll see that it's available for iPhone as well as Android. But iPhone, I've just went through the final hurdles this morning. So in about another week or two, give or take, and Mercury was retrograde pretty much the month of late April through May anyway. So for me to kind of force it with Mercury retrograde wouldn't have made any sense at all. But as you see, so let's say you know how you look at your calendar and you look to see how things are going, whether the weather's going to rain or snow during the week, although it should be snowing this time, it'll be at least in this part of the world where I am. But you see that from the 14th to the 20th, she's got 2 days that will be more favorable to her, which will be the 17th and the 19th. Why? Because her key numbers are the 1, 4, and 8, where the 5 and the 6 are her stressful numbers, which is also indicated for the 14th and the 15th. So if possible, those would not be the best days for her to take the initiative. Let's say she's got to take a test on the 24th. That doesn't mean she hide under a rock. Now, if she could rearrange it to another time, like to Friday, I got a doctor's appointment, but I can do it on Friday, which is a green star day for her. So this calendars help you design to go around the minefields of life where there's those pitfalls, those cautionary moments that we all have. This is one. Now, there are many features in my app, but to me, this is one of my favorites because this came as a result of doing this for years for business clientele, business owners that wanted to know how to plan their week. And so as you see at the top right, that's for May. They can go back and review what happened in April, what happened in March, or they can move forward to find out what's happening for June or July. Let's say they got a reunion coming up or a business deal coming up in August, or they can skip to there and the calendar will show them their green stars and red star periods so they can make their adjustments accordingly. So what we're going to do, now that I got this out the way, we are going to have some fun because I'm going to take people's calls and I'm going to tell you what your personal year will be. All right. So let me say this too. Again, please, 2 times. That's it. Also, give yourself, I notice there's some people who will do this every week. Now, if you do this every week times everybody doing it every week, it doesn't have time for me to get to people that are new or coming in. So what I'm saying is let's kind of work with each other. I will get to you at some point. Also, I noticed because I really can't watch my comments until after the show is over, and then I'll look at all the comments. Some of y'all are talking about, well, I ain't doing this because you gave me a donation. All this started with 19 Keys, bless his soul. You gave me a donation and I didn't answer. I'm not predicated upon that. If I see a donation, I will get to it. I can't get to all of them because for all the people that have supported me without a donation, I can't just kick them to the curb. I'm not going to do that. Okay. And if you feel that, well, he may not talk to me. Well, if I talk to you and then you want to give a donation, fine. But, for people to imply that, well, they gave a donation and I'm not reading you, believe me, it's not deliberate. I'm doing this all by myself and it's a wonder I'm doing it this well. All right. So please bear with me. I'm human. I'm not an AI component. Okay. I'm good at what I do, but I'm not that good. All right. And I don't have anybody here to go over it. I just have my moderator tell about the likes. But I will say this. Even if you don't donate a like, donate a share. Obviously, it's important to my moderators on Monday and Wednesday. If you don't do nothing else, donate. And that don't cost no money. Okay. But I guess for the algorithm purposes for which this thing is operating on, fine. The only thing I operate on is, can I get the information to raise your consciousness, your awareness, to make you a better person where you can be more in the right place at the right time? That is my goal. That is my fundamental goal. It's not about how much money you donate. I think that's cool. I understand, but I can't just pick because you made a donation. I'm picking because of like the Stephen and Carol Williams and other people that have been supporting me since I came on this 2 years ago, starting in July, will make 2 years. So I can't kick them to the curb and say, well, listen, y'all not kicking in no money. I don't operate like that. So again, so if some of you feel that, well, I made a donation and I didn't read you, believe me, it's not deliberate. It's not. And if you feel that way, if I get to you and you do want to make a donation afterwards, fine. That way there's peace. That's all I want. All I want is some peace and share the information. And no, I don't send no DMs. That's why I always put, I do the cosmic forecast, but I always forget to please like, share, and subscribe. My moderator said, won't you say, okay, please like, share, and subscribe. I got that out the way. Okay. I do not, LWL, Live with Lloyd, or LS, Lloyd Strayhorn, will not send you a DM to your voicemail or your message box or whatever it is. I just don't do that. So if you're getting something saying, hey, this is Lloyd and you need to get this reading, that's not me. That's a fake. Okay. Also, I had to get somebody else straight today, too. They seem to be piggybacking off that she got her husband back in 3 months and this was the person, and go here to the site. Please do that on your own. Okay. I do not put my show on anybody else's. Okay. I stay in my lane, please. So I just asked the person politely, if they don't mind, could they not do it? Because they've done it several times. So I'm asking. If not, I will block them. I will report them. I don't want to have no problems with nobody, although there's some people I'm beginning to understand maybe this thing. My daughter says, well, the thing is getting popular, this, that, and the other. Well, that's nice if it is. But more important to me, as long as you're getting the information, that's all that counts to me. All right. So with that, I'm going to start. Okay. And I'm going to start from the top. And I want to thank Empress Rel, who is my moderator for Wednesday. And of course, I have Jazz Aphrodite as my moderator on Mondays. Okay. So between these two, I am set. All right. So please, if I read you last week, you can't get a reading every week. Okay. Leave room. So this way I can get to more of you people. That's all I want to do. But if I got people doing it 3, 4, 5 times, which I've had done, which is why I came up with this, because then that's being kind of selfish. All right. So I don't mean to go through this lecture, but at the same time, I want to get to as many people because I love doing this. And I want to help as many people as I can. But if I got 1 or 2 people that's trying to take up all the oxygen in the room, that's not going to help. So what I'm going to say is, please don't do that. All righty. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Got that out the way. All right. Let's see who we got here. Okay. All right. I want to thank Dorothy Edwards too. She's got the book, and Denisha Henson. I think I read her last week. So I'm going to just skip a bit. Okay. All right. This is Love. I don't think I've read this person. Hi, I really love a reading. They're born November the 10th of 1999. The purpose is to find out what is your personal week. To find the personal week, I have to find out what is the personal year first. So when I took your birthday, Love, you are in an 8 personal year. So that means this is a money cycle for you, or dealing with major moves or achievements or recognition. Then the next step to go to the personal year, I got to find a personal month. So since I know you're in an 8 personal year, I then add your 8 to the 5th calendar month, because that's May. Now, June will change because then we'll be in the 6th calendar. So when I add 8 to 5, that's 13 or 4. So you're in a 4 personal month. Now, your key numbers are the 1, 4, and 9. So this is a very important week, but to get it structured, a month to get things structured and organized. So when I add your 4 personal month to the 3rd calendar week that covers a period from the 15th to the 21st, you happen to be in a 7 personal week. And if you got my Star 8 app and you are Android user and type in your name, you'll see that the number to the left under the daily star guide will be a 7, which means you're in a 7 personal week. The next one will be a 4, which means you're in a 4 personal month. And then the last one, the one to the right, will be that you're in an 8 personal year. So that's how those numbers will roll. And when you tap on that box, it explain what's happening when you're in a 4 week. You tap on it, it'll explain what's happening when you're in a 8 month, and tap on it and tell you what happens when you're not in an 8 year. So in other words, that's how that goes. Okay. So that means that this is a good month for you to not chase, a good week, not to chase from the 15th to the 21st. Don't chase after anything. Think of 7 as magnetic. Think of 7 as getting more into yourself. Begin to question why you do things. And so this is your weekly forecast. So yes, there's the yearly forecast, the monthly forecast, the daily forecast. But thanks to my good buddy Lewis Wheeler, I now developed this concept, or came up with this concept called the weekly one. And by the way, if you want to know, it's on page 158 of my book. And I teased it when I wrote this back in the day. I wrote this a long time ago and I teased it. But now I've worked it to the point where I've got it, where I can explain it, articulate it. And by the way, since you are in a 7 personal week, it tells me the third Monday or somewhere around the 16th, which was a day or two ago, give or take, should have been very interesting to reveal some things to you. All right. So let me go back to, okay, I'm going to take this person, Amaya Brown, and she would like a reading. Her mother is born on February the 3rd, and she is born on July 22nd. It's interesting. Your mother's numbers are the 3, 4, and 1. So I see where you're getting your 4 from, and your numbers are the 4, 1, and 5. So that's where you're getting your numbers from. But quickly though, your mother's in a 3 personal year. She's in an 8 personal month. She is in an 11 universal week. So this should be a week to raise her consciousness, her awareness, and things like that. All right. As for you, you happen to be in a 9 personal year, a 5 personal month, and a 8 personal week. So this is a financial week, but since 8 is one of your opposition numbers, it tells me you got to be careful with monies and things like that. So today would be a red star day for you because 8 is one of your stress numbers, where for some other people like Ann Bowser, who volunteered her stuff, it would be a good day for her. But it's not that you can't get past this day. It just simply means don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't take all your money to the bank on this situation. Think of it as a cautionary day, which means you slow it down and you keep your eyes and your ears open. It ain't about hiding under a rock, because the sun don't come out every day. Once you get that concept, there's always going to be a little cloudy, stormy, rainy days too, overcast days, sunny days. I love those are the green stars. When you see those red, and it's based upon the degree, a 1 red star day, a 2 red star day, and a 3 red star day. Well, the more stars, the more intense that day is likely to be. And again, all this was the concept that for decades, my business clients always wanted me to do their calendars. And I says, well, let me include this as part of the app. And this is one of the many features that's on my Star 8 app. All right, let's see who else we can get here. I'm going to try to get to as many people as I can. Okay. This is Camille. All right, Camille, she says she has a birthday reading, please, for December the 10th. All right, first of all, she is a fire sign with a fire number, which means she's very passionate. She don't take orders well. She's very proactive. She likes to get things done. She doesn't look her age, which is why you will attract younger men and men from different cultures too, while we edit. All right. But in addition, let's get to the nuts and bolts of it. You in a 2 personal year. Now, I'm not doing it. Everything is in my head. I've noticed I'm not using no pen, paper, calculator. Everything is right here. So when you saw the movie Hidden Figures a couple of years ago, those women were considered computers. Why? Because they were using their mind. Well, all of you are computers too, except we just go to sleep because we want to keep our faces in a phone or in a tablet or whatever the case is. But all of you got a computer like mine. Is what you do or don't do with your computer. I choose to make some most of mine, and you should do the same too. So in this case, she's in 11 personal year or two. I'll take it, take whichever one. Somebody said, well, she's 11, she's in a 2. I'm not going to argue that. The point is, I want to get to a personal week. So whether it's a 2 or 11, I add it to the 5th calendar month. She's in a 7 month. So when I add 7 plus the 3rd calendar week, she's in a 1 personal week, which means this. And then because she's born on the 10th, that matches her number, that means this is a week for her to be proactive, be a go-getter. She's likely to meet Leos during this week, or Aquarians or Aries to help her out. In addition to anybody born on the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, the 1st, the 4th, the 10th, the 13th, the 19th, 22nd, 28th, or 31st of the month. They are likely to be of help to you during this week. And it means be proactive, Camille. Don't be sitting around saying, okay, Lloyd says it's going to be a good week, so let me sit on my rusty duck. Don't do that. You go and take the initiative. But with you being a fire sign and a fire number, which means a more proactive type of mindset, I would say you should take full advantage of this week and then some. All righty. So let me do this one. RNM. All right. They're born on July 31st. So believe it or not, they too happen to be in a 2 personal year. Some of my colleagues will say, well, their birthday didn't come yet, but this is how I do it. So I'm going to work with what I know right now. That means that this year says to take your time, to not rush, to be more open and receptive, to be sweet and receptive. That's how you'll get what you want. That's why they say you can catch more bees with honey, okay? Rather than being sour or antagonistic. That's not going to work. Not with the cycle you're in, because you're in a cycle where it says about peace and negotiations and tact and diplomacy and finesse, okay? So in order to do that, you can't go like trying to knock everybody over, all right? So since I know you're in a 2 personal year, then I take the 2 added to the 5th calendar month, which is May. That's a 7 personal month. And then when I add your 7 personal month to the 3rd calendar week, it means you happen to be in a 1 personal week, like the person who was born on December the 10th. Although it got totally different numbers, one is a fire number with a fire sign, you are a fire sign with an air number, yet you're in the same week. And so since your numbers are the 4, 1, and 5, and 1 is your favorable numbers, this is a week to be proactive. You will find also that Leos and Aries and Aquarians and people born on the 1st and 4th, that multiple of them will be of help to you as well. So, but it does mean do double checks, since you are also in a reflective period too. Okay, so this is C, the goddess. She says, tell me about her daughter. Her birthday is 7707. I've also met a person who's born 7777 too. Purchase a book. Thank you very much. She got us. Okay, so let's go for your daughter. She's a water sign with a water number, first of all. Then when I took her month and date of birth, added to the year, she's happened to be in what is called a 5 personal year. So that means for your daughter, she is at a crossroads this year. She has to make a decision which way she needs to take her life, take the direction of how she wants to go. Should she go forward or back up or go left or go right, all depending on everything. So since I know she's in a 5 personal year, then I add her 5 personal year to the 5th position month, representing May, and 5 plus 5 is 1. So she's in a 1 personal month. So then when I add her 1 personal month, added to the 3rd position week, which covers the period from the 15th to the 21st that we're in right now, that is, she's in a 4 weeks. So that means if she's got this urge to like really tighten up and not play it loose, but have a game plan, have a sense of order or purpose or intention of what she plans to do rather than playing a helter-skelter, it would be to her advantage. And because she is in a 4 personal week, that means the signs of Aquarius and Leo and Geminis will be of help, or people whose birthday adds to the single digit of a 1 or 4. That's how you do this. The calculator, my app, will do all of this for you just like that, okay? That's all you got to do is just punch in your information, and it'll be right there for you to see it. But I'm showing you how the process of how I did this. And this is what I had to explain to the developers, how to grasp this concept, because it's new. Everybody knows about to get your destiny number, your personal year, personal month, personal day, but nobody was hip to the personal week until I came along with it, because that is my concept. that I brought to the world and field of numerology. That's why it says, as old as this science is, there's always room for growth. And you will see that with some of my students that I've had, from Jazz Aphrodite, Brandon Smith, and especially my main man, King Simon. I talk about this brother all the time. Can't talk about him enough. He brought me to StreamYard platform. And anytime I ask something, always share. And so that is the beauty of when your ego is on straight. You're not afraid to share. And so everybody can grow. Because let me tell you, things are going to get worse before it gets better. And if we don't act as a collective, a whole lot of us unnecessarily going to be in trouble. And that makes absolutely no sense to me. Okay. But if that's how you want to do, because you think you can do this party all by yourself, okay, I think reality check will say different. Anyway, I've got Christelle Peeler. She is born October the 2nd. So she's a water sign with a water number. And what happens is she happens to be in a 3 personal year. And since her key numbers are the 2, 7, and 3, and she's in a 3 personal year, that means this is her time to take advantage, to grow, to blossom, to bloom, to come into its prosperity, because 3 is ruled by Jupiter, the good luck planet. So a good luck should be aspecting your chart. So if you've been feeling your energy busy as you can get it, need to resolve some legal or semi-legal matters, all of that is within your purview this particular year. However, when I add her 3 personal year to the 5th calendar month, which is May, that's an 8. So 8 and 3s get along very well. Those are money numbers. So you should be working on some money type situations right now. However, when I add her 8 to the 3rd position month, that means she's in a 2 personal week. And this is cool because if you notice, she's born on the 2nd day of the month anyway. So now you turn on the charm crystal. Now you don't be, trying to yoke nobody and boss nobody and dominate nobody. You do what Delilah did to Samson. She put the hurt on that man, okay? Next thing, when he woke up, it was a wrap. Read the Bible. It's explained in there too, or see the movie. Anyway, so you use your charm and persuasion to do what you need to do, okay, this whole week. That means that next week, therefore, week number 4, which is the 22nd to the end of the month, you'll be in a 3 personal week. And since 3 is one of your backup numbers behind the 2 and the 7, things are going. So this week and next week, I'd be your new best friend, okay? That's how that goes. This is what my A Star 8 app does for you. This instantly tells you the kind of week you're likely to have. The calendar in and of itself will tell you how to pick and choose in that week that's there. You see those red stars, you save it as many green stars. And the stars that are not, any date that's not listed with a star is more neutral. Pick that. If you got to, pick the green star days, then the neutral days, and if possible, avoid or renegotiate the red star days, especially when it's double red, triple red, because the more red that piles up, the worse things can be, and especially if you're in a rush. And your week is saying, be patient, Crystal, take your time, be sweet, be receptive, things of that nature, okay? All righty, so let me go down to here, see what's happening. Okay, this is Soul to Soul. They're born 4/4, and they said I'm a 4, right? Is a 6 personal year for you? Let me see right quick. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. You're right. It is a 6 personal year for you. But then what happens? What is the month? So if it's a 6 personal year for you, now let's go to the 2nd division to say, okay, that's the whole year, but what's happening for this month? Because don't forget, this year is broken into 12 divisions, each called months. So when I add your 6th year to the 5th calendar month, May, it adds up to an 11 or 2. So that means a good chance to change your diet, a good time to mend fences, a good time to also be more selective in rearranging your home, increase your hygiene or your dietary laws, things of that nature. But then when I add your 2 personal month to the 3rd position week, it adds up to a 5. So that means this is the week from the 15th to the 21st about making some changes, doing what you have to do for you, beginning to make sure that you take advantage of any and all opportunities. Look for a Gemini or Virgo or an Aquarius or anybody born on the 5th, 14th, or 23rd to be of help to you during this entire week. Then not only that, but then since 6 is oppositional to you, It means to be patient because next week, because if you're in a 5-person week from the 15th to the 21st, you'll be in a 6-person week from the 22nd to the end of the month. So that means this will be a cautionary week coming up. Don't be kind of like overbearing. Don't be trying to have your way. Don't be contrary, because fours can be contrary sometimes. Everybody doing this, I don't want to do that. Whatever the case is, it would be to your advantage, and this helps guide you in terms of your human interactions with people. But imagine when you don't know these things, and when you're going through a week like that, that's going to be from the 22nd to the end of the month. Why things are just not working for you? That is because you're not aware, and that is the whole purpose of my app, A Star 8, to help you get there to understand what it is. It took me a while. This is for me. I mean, there's several things I like. I like the magic box. I'll get into all that later, but just this one feature alone helps you make intelligent decisions about when to pick and choose your battles in life. That's all. And ain't nothing like being in the right place at the right time. Trust me, it's much, much easier. So therefore, your numbers, by the way, are the 4, 1, and 9, since you're born on Maya Angelou's birthday. And it's interesting, because you're also born in the year of the 1989 as the 27. But that's cool because 9 governs the sign of Aries. So you will have open and secret enemies at the same time through no fault of your own. But one day, if you ever give me a chance to give you a reading, I'll explain in more details too. All righty. So let's see what we got here. And I thank everybody. Now, by the way, I want to thank Miss Brittany Johnson. She has made a donation. Thank you very much. She is 10/20/2020 for her son. All right. It tells me you have a son who is very lovable, huggable, affectionate, and very picky about what he eats. I'm sure you found that out too. 2 children I noticed when they're coming up will normally tend to suffer with colic. So he may have had an episode with colic when he was a smaller child, or depending on what was fed to him or whatever the case is, because 2 will, if you look at how a 2 is written on a piece of paper, it's almost shaped like the intestines of the stomach. This is why 2 people are normally finicky or fussy about their eating habits, their dietary laws, especially the women's sensitivities with their reproductive organs or female problems, as you describe it to me as a guy. All right. So you have a very loving, caring son. His numbers are the 2, 7, and 6. And let me tell you this. The beauty about your son's birthday is every single number in his birthday are psychic or intuitive. So let's say you invite somebody over and you say, honey, this is so-and-so, and they ain't feeling so-and-so. You should take that as a sign. Not that that person on the other end is not good, but if your son is not feeling that person, there is something, because babies go on instinct anyway. Only when we become adults and we learn the fine art of lying, the fine art of deception, the fine art of misspeaking, you know. But for your children, especially young like that, they're coming straight from the heart, straight from their intuition. And your son got it all. So he needs a hug twice a day. So if he's up under you all the time for a hug, hug that boy, okay? Show him that kind of love. It's been found that when children are deprived of love and affection and lack of touch, for the first 2 years, they never become normal as adults. So I would like to think, Brittany, that you want your son to be as normal as humanly possible and as loving as humanly possible, okay? And then that way you made your contribution to humanity too. All righty. So his numbers are the 2, 7, and 6. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All righty. Again, see, I don't look for donations. I've been on some shows where all they did was take donations, man. You know what I'm saying? Now I will take this person because they put a lot in this super chat. You know what? Believe it or not, of all these donations, I haven't collected a penny yet. Not one. I don't know what the amount is that's been accumulated. Not that I don't need the money, but it's not my objective to get caught up into the money. Yes, I need money to pay bills. Yes, I need money to pay rent and food and all this other stuff that's make life goes round in this society. But I'm not driven by the money. I cannot be bought. And a lot of us are now, the whole goal now is chasing the bag and chasing the bag. You better chase what's in your best interest, because there's certain things that money can't buy. And you knowing who you are is a priceless thing to know. That's why my classes are on sale. I'll talk about that at the end of the show too. But anyway, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, wow, that's kind of nice. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. Okay, this is Janae. She's April the 7th. Can you tell me what my gifts are? Yes. Okay. As a seven, one of the gifts of seven is the gift of analysis, research, investigation, introspection, getting to the bottom of something. It's one thing to know that something happened, but for seven, they want to know why did it happen. So let's say a guy comes and Janae's girlfriend say, Janae, so and so said they're in love with you. Where a girl, other girlfriend say, oh, he loved me so and so and so. Not you, Janae. You're gonna say, okay, honey, why you loving me this week? Is it because I got my hair done? It's because I got that brand new car? Because I hit that lottery? Why are you loving me today? So this is why people think you're a little snooty or stuck up, or who do you think you are? But you're not. You, by your very nature, want to know why things happen the way they do. So who's ever in your space, that is how it is. Then you're under the sign of Aries, which is a humanitarian number, the number of the fighters, the numbers that have good opinion of themselves, or the sign that has good opinion of themselves. So it's no accident that no matter where you go on the planet, in astrology, they always start out with the first sign, which is Aries, because it starts at the head, Taurus is the neck, Leo, it works its all the way down to the body. Eight is the reproductive organs, which is, Scorpio is the eighth sign, which is governs the reproductive area of the body, which is why now you see why Scorpio's got that sex sign type of symbol to it, because that is a part. And then you go all the way down to Pisces that govern the feet. So this is how things start with this. There is an art to this. There's an ancient art to these things. So if you once you raise your consciousness, you'll be surprised how things work, and you get a better understanding of yourself and other people that you come in contact with, especially your babies and the people that you love or care for, your children and your parents, but more importantly, yourself. All righty. So your numbers are the 7, 2, and 6. And by the way, since we're going to get to that, you're in so if you did that right, you're in a 9 personal year, you're in a 5 personal month, and you happen to be in a 8 personal week. So this is a financial week. So last week should have been a week where you got some answers from the 15th, from the 8th to the 14th. This week, the 15th, now you're going after things relating to money, finances, dealing with your bills, people from your past, Capricorns, Aquarians, Libyans, and people born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th of the month. Okay? Thank you. And your best days are always on Mondays and Fridays. Thank you. All righty. Okay. All right. So let's see what we got here. Okay. This person is Trinicat Charles. They're born 6/22, 76. Can they get some insight on my current situation? I'm in between jobs, waiting on decision if I am hired. Okay. First of all, understand you are a borderline case. You to me, you're beginning the very signs of Cancer. So if that's the case, you have an exception in the sense that about 95% of the people only have 3 numbers. You got 4 numbers, and your numbers are the 4, 1, 2, and 7. But then when I looked at everything, first of all, you're in an 8 personal year, because I took the month and day you're born mentally in my head, calculate the 2023 to 8. So this is a power cycle. So it looks like there's a better than average chance of you getting this job. And if you don't get that job, that means obviously something better is happening, because this is your money, power, authority, and achievement and recognition year. So you should think big. You should aim for the sun, as I say, even if you only hit the moon. So this is a good year. And it's going to be a year where you connect with your past. But if I add 8 to the first visit to the 5th calendar month, which is May, you happen to be in a 4 personal week. So 4 happens to be one of your numbers, okay? So it looks like if anything's happening, I would expect it to come up somewhere around the 21st, 22nd as we move from the 4th week into the final week. And so I'm going to say somewhere around the 22nd or the 28th. I would expect you to hear something on whether the decision is whether you've been hired or not. You may get the decision, but that will be the start date. Well, we're going to start you on the 22nd. We're going to start you on the 28th. So call me. Say, Lloyd, you don't know what you're talking about. I can handle it. I ain't never said I was perfect anyway, and I certainly don't walk on water. So I don't have a problem being wrong, okay? And once you get into the habit of that, it's not that it's a sign of weakness, but actually it's a sign of strength. This is why they tell you when you go to a therapist, own it, the fact you're an alcoholic. Own it to the fact that you are a drug addict or drug addicted. whatever the case is. That seems to be the starting point to the healing process. But a lot of us be in denial, and we're only fooling ourselves because, as I said, you can run from everybody, but you can't run from you. And so this should be a very interesting month for you. Although May normally is not your best month, I ain't going to front with that. So the latter part of April through this month of May, but late May into June, June into July, July into August, and August into September. So this same time, by this weekend, okay, as we go into the sign of Gemini into June, July, and August, I expect you to have some. So I'm going to look for this name and just say you did get something, or you still looking, Lloyd, you don't know what you're talking about. I can handle it, okay? All right, so anyway, those are your numbers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is Flow to Flow. They're born March the 24th, which makes them an Aries 6 person. All right, so that means that you happen to be in a 7 personal year, and this is a 7 universal year. So that means get right with your spirit, get right with yourself, begin to question why you do the things you do. And so since I know you're in a 7 personal year, and then I added to the 5th calendar month, you're in a 3 personal month, and it means you're in a 6 personal week. And since you're born on the 24th, and this week is in alignment with your birth number, this should be good. So I would look for the 3rd Friday coming up, or somewhere around the 15th to the 21st. So I would say something should have happened. What's the day? 17th, 2 days ago, on Monday, give or take, Monday or yesterday, or something coming up this Friday, because your 3 is found in the 3rd position month, and each number rules a day, and 3 rules Thursday. So it's not the 2nd Thursday, but it's the 3rd Thursday. This is another thing of how I develop the reading of these personal weeks that seem to be on point. And you can get all of this by going to my app, A Star 8, a star in the sky with the number 8. Android users, you got it right now. Just go to your Google Play Store. I think by this time next week, give or take, I can happily announce that, okay, you iPhone guys, because I'm an iPhone user. So you know I've been wanting to jump on this, okay? I have the beta version, but I need the real version to see how it works, okay? So your key numbers, so that's the week you're in. Take full advantage of it. And this year, since your numbers are the 6, 9, and 3, since you're Aries and you happen to be in a 3 personal week, that means take advantage to grow, to expand, to blossom, to work on a self-improvement program, whether it's a diet or health. And your birthday suggests you're always a work in progress anyway, like to go to school, finish school, about to sign up for something, whatever the case is. So that would be it. Let's take this person here, Nature's Native LLC. Their son is born on 12/12 at 12:12 a.m. I'm telling you, man, this is, yes, is there any insight? Yes, it is. Because first of all, what it tells me, your son is born, his son is probably somewhere around in the first, second. Your son's sun sign, or the planet of the sun, is probably in the 3rd position, which would be in the sign of Gemini. All righty. That's first of all, which means very bright, very engaging, something related to brothers and sisters. Also, he is a fire sign with a fire number. And it also indicates very popular, very bright, very engaging. The only thing you have to be careful of with your son, see, I'm going to be talking about the compound numbers as another topic also. Jazz Aphrodite described it in her book, Numbers Decoded, Cards Unfolded. And she explained about the numbers from 1 to 39, all the karmic numbers. But it's all taken from the tarot deck. Well, the 12th card represents the hangman. It's a picture symbol of a man hung upside down, and it denotes mental suffering and anxiety of mind. I will repeat. This is why number 3 people, the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, the 30th, or sign of Sagittarius or Pisces, will normally go through panic attacks, anxiety episodes, because it denotes mental suffering and anxiety of mind. That if your son is not careful, he will wind up being the victim or the sacrifice for the plans and intrigues of others. Simple definition is, teach your son, don't let people use him. He'll have somebody call him up. Hey, how you doing? Like so-and-so, listen, man, can you do me a solid? He'll say yes. And then later on say, question himself, why did I say that? So anybody born on the 12th of any month, always be careful when you haven't heard from somebody in a minute and they want to call you, because about more than likely they're going to be asking you for a solid. And because you're caught off guard, you'll say, yeah, sure. And then when you think about it, after you hang up the phone, how come they couldn't take an Uber? What happened if they didn't get in touch with me? So what I'm saying to cut mental suffering and anxiety, because you'll say yes and find it challenging to say no. Now, there are some exceptions, but for the most part, people born on the 12th of any month, if they're not careful or the 12 in their name, wind up being the victim or the sacrifice for the plan and trees of others. Definition is users, okay? So anyway, your son is in a 4 personal year. He happens to be in a 9 personal month, and he happens to be in a 3 personal week. And since 3 is his main number because he's born on the 12th, and 3 rules the sign of Sagittarius, which is his sign, this should be a very uptick week for him, especially with this coming Thursday, because each number rules a day. So the 3, since it's in the 3rd week, rules Thursday. So it's the 3rd Thursday coming up, or somewhere around the 21st, because 2 plus 1 is 3. I would look for something to jump off specifically for him. And this is how I read this. I'm going to teach this. I think I'm going to spend the course on really how to teach the personal week so people can narrow the field, not just the year, not just the month, but then the weeks within that month, so they can act with intelligence. Because as I said, when you look at your phone, they'll tell you what the weather's going to be for the whole week so you can plan your weekend or plan your week. Well, this is what this does. And this is what my app, A Star 8, does for you. So Android users, just go to Android, your Google Play Store, download it. It's ASTAR, the number 8. And it'll say A Star 8 by LLoyd Strayhorn. And I'll show you all that too as we wrap it up. But anyway, your son's numbers are the 3, 6, and 9. It tells me he's very creative, very imaginative. And number 3 children always got something to say. They are some talking children. Okay. So let's see who we got here. This is Anthony McInnes, and they're born, they're from South Carolina. Yay, Dylan. And they're born August the 17th. They're born the same day as one of my favorite idols, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, born in St. Anne's Bay, Jamaica, back in the 1800s. Anyway, aside from that, well, it tells me, first of all, you always liked older women. So if you was introduced to sex by an older woman, 101, Anthony, which is none of my business, but if you were, then that makes all the sense in the world to me. However, when I looked at the cycle that you're in, you happen to be in a 8 and 8 is 16, 7. You happen to be in a 5 personal year. And so when I add the 5 personal year to the 5th calendar month, you happen to be in a 1 personal month. Then when I add the 1 personal month to the 3rd calendar week, you happen to be in a 4, which is kind of interesting for you because from your birthday, your key numbers are the 8, 1, and 4 in that order. The 8, the 1, and the 4. If I want to unlock the safe to get to anything you need to know about. And so since you happen to be in a 4 personal week, this is a week to really tighten up your act, get all your ducks in a row, make sure you dot those I's, cross those T's, and make sure you look before you leap, because Leos can be very daring, very proactive, and just get out there. But this week says you need to use this as a cautionary week to make sure you plan and do everything with precision, with accuracy. And that's what my Star 8 app will do for you too. Once you got it, the calendar will do that for you. Your lucky numbers again are the 8, 4, 8, 1, and 4. And your best days without exceptions are always on a Saturday, a Sunday, and a Monday. All right. Very good. Okay. All right. Let's see who we got. Okay, we got Janelle. Janelle is she's born August the 6th. So she's a Leo 6, which means she's a fire sign with an earth number. She happens to be in a 3 personal year. That means if that's the case, she happens to be in an 8 personal month. And that means she happens to be in a 3 personal week. And that's it. So this is a week to explore your option, to be creative, take advantage of the good luck cycle that you're in this 7-day period from the 21st to the 15th to the 21st of the month, and look for a Sagittarians or Pisces or anybody born on the 3rd, 12th, 21st, or 30th to be of help to you. Okay. And this is your week to think positive. You know what I'm saying? And because we're in the year of the law of attraction, the better you think, the more you will be, you will attract those good things to you. But if you're walking around having a pity party, that's not going to work in this year, because the pity party is only going to get bigger with the year. And by the whole end of the year, you will have your big pity party. And guess what? Nobody shows up but you. So you might as well change the attitude. And in this case, Janelle, and it also tells me you're strikingly a good looking woman in that way. You have a gift with singing, theater, dance, acting. You would do well in law, medicine. You do well in real estate, banking. You do well in service, whatever the case is, as well as the arts. And you should develop your voice for voiceover work. You probably have a very nice voice too. Your lucky numbers are the 6, 2, and 7, and Fridays and Mondays are your best days. All righty. So let me go back a bit. Let's see. And again, for those of you who made donations, if I don't get to you, don't take it personal because I just don't know. I don't know how many donations I get until the show's over, and I really can focus all my attention in the comment section. But after that, when I hear birthday, like this person, 6-7, I ain't got no time to be, I'll say thanks for the donation, but I got to get right into it. Like, first of all, this person is a Cancer 7 born the same day as Prince. Okay. Then I have to know what kind of year they're in, which is a 2 personal year. Once I know that, then I got to know what personal month they're in, which is a 7 personal month. Then I got to know what week they're in, which is a 1 personal week. So this is a week to be proactive for yourself. Then you in your 52-day critical cycle, just 52 days before your birthday. So this is when you're at your most challenging time. And since 7s tend to worry, and by the way, did I say thanks for the donation? Thanks for the donation. And since 7s tend to worry more than they need to at times, fear not, worry not. If you're thinking about worry and hold on to it, and being a year of the 7 that we're in, which is your number, and this being the law of attraction, you will attract unnecessary grief and those kinds of things to you when it's not necessary. So think positive. But there's something in this culture that trying to orient people to think the worst of things. You know what I'm saying? And I noticed one newspaper, particularly here in this city, anytime there's a drama, there's a shooting, you can always read about it, even on your phone. Other than that, if I want to read the rest of the article, I got to pay for it. But if I want to hear about some drama, it's absolutely free. So I'm just saying we have to be mindful of how we be discerning about the information that we're getting. And so that's one of the reasons why I stopped watching television. I don't know what some of these medications are. And some of them tell you, and it may cause death. If it says why it causes death, why are you going to use it if it's going to cause death? The whole purpose of using medicines is to live, not to die. But anyway, and I'm saying, do people listen to some of the side effects of these things that's going on? And we have to listen. We have to have discernment. You have to have critical thinking, which doesn't appear to be encouraged in this country. But it is in your best interest, folks, at least my audience, to be in the critical thinking. There is no substitute. You either think for yourself or someone will think for you. I've said it many times. I'll say it many more times if I have to, because it's very important. So anyway, your key numbers are the 7, 2, and 5. Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays are your best days. And with this being the year of the 7, and you're in a 2 or an 11 personal year, which is your second best number behind the 7, you should be making some changes around your home, changes around your appearance, changes around the workplace too. And it takes your time, and definitely you're changing your diet. Uh, you know, cutting back on some things, being mindful of salt intake, whatever the case is like that. And every now and then we pig out, but that's it. But anyway, thanks for the donation. All righty. I'm a little over the hour. I'm going to take as many more as I can. Um, okay. I got to take this one only because this person, Chillock, my man. Okay, I got you, Chillock. Okay, he got me straight too. Um, he has an excellent question. When do the personal year begins and end? Okay, for me, I've always known it to end on January the 1st and end on December 31st. Now, the students that I have, Jazz Aphrodite, King Simon, Brandon Smith, and a couple others, they like to say, well, your personal year don't start until your birthday. I think you're in Aries, April 9th, if memory serves me correct. Yeah, because 999. Yeah, that's the trigger. So let's say, where I would have you in your personal year beginning in January, my student says, well, your personal year will really start on April the 9th. So That's why that's why we're gonna have a discussion. It's gonna be a fun discussion. It ain't gonna be no debating and throwing paper at each other and all that other stuff. It's just gonna be, we're gonna get to the bottom of it, and you, our participants, are going to confirm whether I'm correct or they're correct. If they're correct, I don't have no problems. If I'm correct, okay, but I've been doing this a long time, and I'll say from the beginning of the year. But actually, what is interesting, you actually feel the personal year begin 3 months before you get to the year. That's why I call the month of October the preview month. It's like you taking your boo to the movies. Before you see the main movie, whatever that movie is you're going to see, you see the trailers, you see the coming attractions, as they call them. Trailers are coming attractions. They call them trailers because they used to be at the end of the movie, but since people got up right after the movie was over, they tried to put the trailers in front. So you got to see them before you see that movie. But anyway, the point is that with this being the case, um, always around late September, October, you begin to get a snapshot of what is to come for the year beginning in January. So in this case, I do believe you're April the 9th. So if I do that, you start making a transition. Things started beginning a little, if you're up in the air, somewhere around late September, October. And if you're Aries, the period of Libra is your opposition period anyway. And so things was up in the air, kind of iffy. And so right now it just says this year, if memory serves me correct, being on April 9th, that you got to take your time. You got to take it easy. And this is very hard for nines to do, much less Aries, because they are about some action. They're about what we're going to do about it. And you can't get more proactive than an Aries and an Aries 9 to boot. So if that's the case, I would say that this particular person, that in your case, chill out, got to take your time. And there's certain times that things you can't force. And the gardening is example, perfect example. You put seeds in the ground today, you think that seed gonna come up with some plants, you looking at it an hour or two later, you gotta wait. There's a nurturing process. Well, that's what happens around late September, October of every year. Women can sense it. That's how I got this idea from anyway. Women can say, well, I think the year's going to be good. I don't know how the year's going to be. But they're the ones that really pull my coat, paying attention, that I call late September, October, the preview month. Is whatever's happening in October will give you a snapshot as to what is going to happen when you go into the new year in front of you 3 months out. All right. So I hope that answers your question. That's why we're going to have a panel on to resolve this one way or the other. Good question. Chill out. And thanks for the donation too. All righty. So let me go back. To see. I go from the top to the front. So I try to catch people. Okay. Let's see. And I got to thank Empress. And I always got to give a shout out to my brother Stephen and Carol Williams out of Chicago. They've always been very, very nice to me. Okay, let's go with this person here. Lin. See, I think I read Lin before. So as I asked, if y'all can just, well, anyway, I'm going to take it anyway. Born February 23rd. Can you tell me the significance of being in a 5 personal year? Yes, you are. Well, anytime your personal year is in alignment with your date of birth, you're in a 5 personal year, you happen to be born on the 23rd, that is considered, from taking an astrological term, auspicious. Great. That's what's up. Okay. So what I'm saying is, since you're in a 5 personal year, 5 is always indicative of a change. And the way I describe it is, you're like at a fork in the road, you're at a turning point. Another way I'll put it is like driving along the highway, you get off the exit, and when you come off the exit and come to the stop sign or the red light, you got signs pointing all kind of ways. And it means that this year is, which way do you decide to go and for what reason? It's always about a change for the better. Some might want change for relationship, change for the health, change for the environment, change for monies, whatever. Everybody's got their individual niche when it comes to their 5 personal year. And it also is a cycle of opportunities. The difference is, if I'm in a 5 personal year and I'm a 7, and you're in a 5 personal year and you're a 5, I'd expect the year to be a little bit more favorable, because your personal year is in lockstep with your date of birth. And then that of itself makes it different. Okay. So that's the significant thing. So since 5 is your personal month, your personal year added to the 5th calendar month, May, that means you're in a 1, which means this is the time to be proactive and take initiative and take the start to do something in a more independent fashion. However, when I add your 1 personal month, to the third position week, covering the week of the 15th through the 21st. You happen to be in a 4-person week, which means you got to hit the brakes, slow it down, lay the cornerstone or the building block to what you're going to do. Now, next week, which is the 22nd to the end of the month, which would be your 1-person week added to the fourth calendar month is a 5. Boy, that's going to be great. I would be your new best friend. And it tells me the last Wednesday or somewhere around the 23rd, give or take a duo, will be probably the best time for you during that week of the 22nd to the 23rd. But if you have my app, astar8.com, you can, if you got an Android, you can see that when you look at the week and see the calendar will allow you to press on those months, those stars, and right away you'll see what week you're in automatically. You don't have to wait. You can skip ahead. You can go back. What kind of week was I in the first? It'll tell you. What kind of week went I 2 weeks from now? It'll tell you. The month won't change, the year won't change, but the weeks will change. And that's what makes it so nice to be able to gear yourself. So I would encourage everybody to get this app. It's for your own benefit. I'm saying it because, of course, I'm saying it, but I'm not saying it for the fact of to get your money. I'm saying it to get your act together so you can be in the right place at the right time, to know when to take advantage of the stars, the advantage of the heavens. This is why people of great power have used astrology since the beginning of time, practically. You named them, from the Reagans to Hitler to Napoleon to you almost anybody you can name of worth have always consulted the stars, and yet they want to play you when you do it. And so they have a general thing in the newspaper to keep you amused, but you should go to a professional astrologer or numerologist like myself to really find out what's up. Okay, so I'm going to take about 3 more and call this a day so my moderator can get a break. Okay. What's the name of the app? Let me show you this. The name of the app is called, here we go. This is the name of the app, Astar8. Okay. And this is what it looks like in the Google Play Store. You see, all you got to do is type in the word Astar8, and that's it there. And for those of you, this is the barcode. So while it's on the screen, just take out your phone and just, you know how to do it. There's a QR code, not the barcode, the QR code as they call it. And this will take you right to the website so you can pick. Next week, the iPhone users will now get their chance to put their dibs into it to find out. And so me being an iPhone user, I can't wait. Okay. And so that's how, this is the name of it, Astar8. Okay. A star in the heavens. All right. Okay. So let me just take a couple of more, 2 more, and then we'll call this an evening. All righty. And so listen, all of you who encourages a thumbs up, like the Stephen Williams and others that kind of help me out, help my moderator out. I really appreciate it. It is nice to have as many likes. I'm on TikTok now, and TikTok just blew up. If you go to TikTok, that's numbers in you. I'll show that next week or something like that. But that's phenomenal. And it's interesting, when I had the gentleman on, the psychic John Edward, he said you need to be on TikTok. He told me that a year in advance, and boy, was he correct. So I'm on that too. Okay. So the name of the app again, and this is what Carlette says, astar8.com, and I'll show all that at the beginning. Okay. Let's see. This is Natalia Calzado, and they are born on 9/11, 1991. So they would be in a 9 personal year. How I did it was I took the month and day she's born and added it to the year in question, which is 2023. Well, those 3 factors, her month, her day, and the year I want to know about, adds to a 9. So she's at the end of a 9-year journey. So this is a year for her to close the books. See, 9 represents a couple of things. 1, get rid of anything you no longer need. Toxic situations, negative ways of thinking, negative people around you, the drama, to cut all that loose and let it go. But on the more positive side of the 9, it means now you can fulfill your dreams. some of the things you've been wanting to do for the longest, you can now manifest them, especially since we happen to be in the law of attraction. And only the 7 and the 9 are both found on the spiritual or intuitive plane in the first place. So you got a lot of things going for you, Natalia, that all you got to do is just think about what you want, magnetize it, thinking of not chasing it, but magnetizing it coming to you on the mental screen of your mind, and then you'll get what you want. So then you're in a 9 personal month, a 9 personal year. I added to the 5th calendar month, which is May, which is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. And then when I added to the 3rd week, you're in an 8 week. So that means this is a time to let go, since you're in a 9 year, where anything that may be to excess to your monies, because 8 real deals with money matters, financial matters, goals and budgets and bills and things and debts, things of that nature. So this will be a good time to finish all that up. And then you'll find that the most testing period will be in the last week, since 9 is one of your opposition numbers. So that means be careful, don't force things, just kind of roll with it. The year will be over before you know it, but there's going to be a whole sea change in October of this year. So that's right around the corner, since this is May, and you'll find that you'll do well. All righty. So let me take one more, two more. Okay. I thank everybody for this. I wish I could read everybody, but time just won't permit. Um, okay, let me take one more. I do. Okay. I'm going to take this person. They're Kenya the 3rd. They are September the 1st. So a they are an earth sign with a fire number, which means practical yet passionate, down to earth yet proactive. And so what that means is, since I look at the personal year, she's in an 8 personal year. So this year to make some big moves, especially back in February. But when I add the 8 to the 4th, the 5th calendar month of May, that adds up to a 4. So she's in a 4 month, which means she's got to toe the line. She's got to weigh her needs versus her wants. She might want this, but she needs to deal with that. That's the nature of a 4. It's about being efficient in a 4 cycle. Don't waste the time. Don't be spinning your wheels. You got to pull whatever energy. It's like, don't eat don't let your eyes be bigger than your stomach, as the folks used to say. Don't eat any more than you can. You know what I'm saying? But it's about being as efficient and staying within limitations as much as possible, because the symbol of a 4 is always a box. So the person will be boxed in mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, but some kind of way there are restraints or borders around them. So when I take that with a 4 personal month and add it to the 3rd calendar week, she is in a 7 personal week, which means she's doing a lot of soul searching right now. So right now, she don't want to be bothered with a lot of you people out in there. That makes all the sense in the world. She just want to be left by herself, figure out what's happening, why these crazy dreams are going on. That would make sense too. And so this is not the time to chase, but you'll find that this particular week that Pisces and Cancers and people that are born on the 2nd to 7th, the 11th to 16th, the 20th, the 25th, and the 29th will be of help to her. All righty. So everybody, I don't want to wear out my welcome mat here. I'm just going to stop at this point and just let you know that, first of all, as far as anything, this is the app about the Star 8. It's the Star 8 mobile app information. The website is astar8.com. The email, comments, inquiries, suggestions is astar8llc@gmail.com. And you can always go to my link tree numbers and you. So while we're doing that, let me get that out the way. Let me just say this. First of all, I do want to thank Ann Bowser for giving up her information. I had a relationship last week and all that. So I put all our business out in the street. Didn't mean to, honey, but thank you for volunteering so I could get the subscribers or people to see what the app looks like. My course is, now dig this. This Learn from LLoyd series, I started it in February of 2020. Learn from LLoyd, how to read a person like a book. From day one until now, over 2 years, it's always been listed as a bestseller. There's a reason for it. You notice it's got 5 stars. They don't give me 5 points, but they'll give me 4.8. I'll go for it. You see that I got 180 reviews on it. No, 1,180 reviews. So if you put all of them together, I've got close to about 1,700 reviews or something like that. 15. But anyway, if you look at them, look at the prices of them. You can get all of these courses right now for under $35. You have no excuse. And this is the only time. So you can't say I'm after your money. Because if so, I'd be putting it up when it's top dollar. Okay. Because that $59 is really more than that. That $79 there, the $10 item is really more than that. But I only put it up as sales because everybody's on such a tight budget. But I'm hoping it's not tight when it comes to the knowledge, because the knowledge is a wealth of information for you that'll take you to another level, understand who you are, to guide you in an intelligent way. So I'm telling you, this course is on sale just for a couple of days. You go to my website, LLoyd-Strayhorn.com, or you go to my Linktree /numbers and you. You can go to my TikTok. You can go to my, um, um, uh, you can go to all of it, my podcast, my audiobook. So all of this is, but I think this is the lowest I've ever seen it. So you have no excuse. You have no excuse not to get these classes. They are a go at your own pace course. Okay. Some of you can maybe knock it out in a day. Some of you maybe take a year to knock it out. But the point is, you can go at your own pace. But I encourage you, it is rare to find my courses at this kind of price. Okay. I have nothing to say about it because the people who did this determine those prices. But while they do, it's like, folks, y'all don't have no excuse not to take advantage of these ridiculously low prices where you own all three. All right. The first in the Learn from Lloyd series is How to Read a Person Like a Book. The second one is Learn from Lloyd, the do's and don'ts of, no, it's hold on. The second one is called the do's and don'ts of numerology, or numerology, the next step. That's it. Sometime I have it. So it's How to Read a Person Like a Book. That's the first one. Then the second one that came out the barn was the next step in numerology. And the third one that Jazz Aphrodite and I did together is collectively the do's and don'ts of numerology. So you can be the best at this. And between her expertise and my expertise, I think we knocked it out the ballpark. Okay, but they're all on sale for ridiculously low price. You have no excuse for saying it. Okay, let me go. Other things to announce. Also, and get the May monthly newsletter. It is out to find out what's going on. And I got to give my brother some props, King Simon. He also put out a deck of cards called the Deck of Guidance. I've asked him, he gave me a card. I didn't even want to crack them open. That looks so good. So I just paid for another one that he's going to send me when I crack those open. I'm going to have him as a guest to have him do readings from his numerical cards. Simon is a very inventive brother. The brother's a genius as far as I'm concerned. And for Jackie Levine, she's still got a few of her books left, Numbers Decoded, Cards Unfolded. And so please just go to her website and do this before it is gone. And seriously, it is really flying off the shelf. And for those of you who said they bought it and is enjoying it, thank you. And I want to let you know that today's show was brought to you by the Circles of the Traveling Spread. And you go to stshealing.com. That's stshealing.com to sign up to be present. All righty. And we're going to be working on some other items too, just in case. Again, folks, I wish I could take everybody, but I'd be here for the next 2 or 3 hours. And you know what? I wouldn't have a problem reading everybody on this joint. But we all got a life. And I want to thank you very, very much. And again, to Marcellus, again, to he go to. I thanked him. He to me. I thanked them very much. It was a pleasure meeting them. They were very excited. I was excited too, because again, I rarely get to see anybody that listened to my show, and I finally bump into them in the street. So it's kind of new experience for me. But I thank the both of them, and I thank all of you that have taken your time to listen to this show. And I got to thank my moderator, Emperor. She's just awesome. All righty. So everybody, I want you to all have a nice day. Have a very nice weekend. Promise me you will take care of yourselves, because if you don't, the question becomes, who will?